Hey guys, DJ Cash back, aka Sean Vaz, and I am going to be giving you guys a virtual kind of tour with the camera on my entire DJ set of what I offer at gigs. If you guys don't know what I bring and use for these gigs, you're about to find out. So without further ado, let's dive into it.
Guys, Cash back today with
Scottiplier. Hey everyone.
You easily have to get a flathead screwdriver, small one, to pop out the white locks. You see the white bar in the center? So first we, of course, have our PA speakers. A great brand is ProRec. I don't know if you can see it there. But ProRec is a great DJ PA speakers brand, and this is the Party 15. That says ProRec Party 15 model. This is the passive speaker, so all it just needs is the connection, and this switch can turn on and off the LED lights that flash through the speakers on the other side. So the lights come through the speaker right here, and they kind of poof out and kind of shine. They're not exactly as bright as my other main LED lights, but it's very nice, and it grows brighter and flashes and syncs with the beat and the music. And we have our trebles and mids that come out of here, bass and main speaker in here. And of course it's on a good tripod with safety caution tape because, you know, anybody can trip over that if they're not careful. And then way over there is the master speaker, which has different modes of mic volume if you're doing a microphone or talk over on a mic, which I have wirelessly over there. We have our line in of MP3, which means any music you're playing through maybe the radio mode on here, that's its volume, and this dial is the master volume. And this is graphic equalizer. You can really set how the thing sounds. You can plug in a wired microphone in here and two RCA cable connections, as well as your input modes, your previous and skip ahead kind of track, a repeat or play and pause, and you can also put in a SD sound card in here to have it connect and play what's on a card, or hook in a USB cable to connect to a device if you have a long enough cord, that is, or put in maybe a flash drive that has USB to play music that's on there. As well as it says on the symbol there, it's Bluetooth connectable. So one of the modes is Bluetooth. You can wirelessly connect with your device through Bluetooth, which is what we do all the time, and play music off of your phone, or maybe a podcast or like some Christmas radio during the holidays. Have it play in the backgrounds during some nice Christmas dinner while the DJ is away. And there is a red light here that flashes underneath the green, which is definitely not what we want. That means it's an overdrive, and that means it has to be turned down because it's unstabilizing the speakers and it can cause damage. Green just means that we have power. So that's exactly what we want. And we want this to be on line input mode because line means the RCA cable that's connected back here, the red and the white, is traveled into the DJ's main controller, or maybe CDJs or turntables, which is any sound that they do on their equipment is going to be coming out to and out of the speakers. So I bring this very long RCA cable that's like a good 50 feet because you never know how long you're going to need to have your equipment away from probably the speakers. As well as the speakers have speaker-to-speaker connections, so that the master speaker, anything that's connected to it in there through RCA, sound will come out of there no matter what. But then this has to connect all the way to the passive speaker so that it can sync with it, and it knows as well what to play out of there. So that's why there is master and passive speaker. Now on to the next thing, lights. So as of my equipment, I offer 4 different types of lights. We have our main rotating spotlight right here, with built-in laser pointers at the bottom, and they shift color, and it comes with a remote so you can change it to different colors and modes every time. I just have it on automatic, and it syncs and does some kind of rhythm or pattern and speed when music is playing. It has a smart sensor built in on the back to listen to any beat or music it hears, and it knows to sync the rhythm of its visual performance. Same thing goes with all the other speakers. So I have 2 of these. I have this one, and this one's main LED light has failed, but it can still do great colors and laser pointers, if you will. These little guys are very small, as you can see, but they're very powerful. It has its main source of light right here, which is the far left one. It can do different colors, as well as have sensory, which is what we want because it kind of gives the idea of the color it brings out, as well as the pointers. And it's just called, the brand of this is just called Party Light. I can't remember what the brand of this big one was, but these are very cheap, affordable, budgetable, good enough powerful DJ lights for any indoor event and outdoor event in the dark. Very cheap on Amazon. For each one was probably like under $100, so it is doable. So as for this little guy, I have 2. One here and one here. And as for these, I have 2. There and there. And of course, lights do come out of the speakers as well when you turn on that mode, so that's nice too when the music is playing. I also do have 2 good fog machines that you can refill with fog juice when it goes out. But the problem is that that's pretty much better for an outdoor event because, you know, the fog has some kind of a like vapor smell to it. It's not harmful, but you know, it's vapor, it's water-based fog. So it's not really good to have indoors, or unless you're not going to have any doors or windows open. So it's best to use those for outdoors. But what's cool about the fog machines is that they have these same kind LED kind of spotlights that shine in 3 or 4 different colors or in different cycles and speeds as the fog is coming out. So it's like the fog has color or colors to it, which is really awesome in the dark. I've tried it on Halloween night before, and it is fantastic. I do that every year for the kids and for the neighbors. And they all just love it. So, yep, that's all my lights. Okay, now to where the DJ stands, which is where I am. So I have my basic already kind of soundboard and my mixer DJ controller. This brand is from Pioneer DJ, specifically for Record Box DJ software, which is on the computer right there. Well, that just says performance, but this is Record Box DJ software, which is what I use. And it's really, really nice. So this connects to my controller, so I can pretty much do and see everything that is going on up there. I mean, see that? It's nice. As well as the controller is model from Pioneer DJ is the DDJ 1000 record box, which means it's only compatible for the record box software, but it's also compatible with Serato DJ Lite when you have that cheaper subscription that you pay for. But for record box, I have the professional package, so I get the full entire package with it. It's very nice. So it comes with only 2 main decks, but what's nice is that you have 4 deck channels. So mainly you would use just channels 1 and 2 for these 2 decks. But what's cool is that you can change this first deck to a virtual 3rd channel, which means that you can kind of like load a third track into this one and do your controls and functions with that, and then click it again. See that? To go back to the first. We have a track loaded, which is why all this info's on here. All info's loaded on deck 1, but on deck 3, nothing is loaded, so that's why it says not loaded and everything's blank. So on the other side, on deck 2, it has the same thing. You can select from deck 2 to a virtual deck 4. Again, nothing is loaded on 4, so that's why it's blank and says not loaded, but we have something loaded on deck 2. So it's cool, you can kind of switch virtually back and forth to do other functions and have backgrounds play in as you're doing your main mixes for channels 1 and 2, which is a really awesome feature. But what's compatible on here is that if you have the money and you can spend it, you can attach in 2 extra, either like maybe CDJ players or extra turntables to put on the side, and you can connect it to those channels. So you can have more options for scratching, more options for better epic mixing, but that's kind of more like pro club level, and it's what the club offers you, so they don't always necessarily pay for all this stuff. This kind of controller alone is kind of the gold standard for controllers out there. It's got all of your main basic things that you need for a great epic mixing session or for any mixing gig. So that is pretty much the software and the controller, as well as I have 2 different type of microphones. I have one wired, which I did not connect, which is what I tend to use back here for myself in the booth. And then I use a wireless one, which has a receiver. I can also connect this to the mic input on the front of the master speaker that I showed you. For maybe another person out there that wants to make announcements, can use the battery wireless microphone. So when that turns on, it'll be ready to go. And when this receiver's turned on and it has battery, you can also connect it via USB-C cable, and I connect it into my laptop to keep the receiver charged so that it can have enough power throughout the entire time. So testing. Oh, and don't forget, you gotta turn on the mic control or talk over mode, which is a talk over that is a little louder and it dims the volume of the music so it's like a background. Testing. There you have it. And then when, of course, the music is playing, there's what the lights look like. We'll shut off the lights so you can see what it's like in the dark. So, yep, at a night event, this is definitely what it looks like back here at the DJ booth. It's pretty epic-like, and everything is kind of well lit on the controller, so you can kind of still see some light around some buttons and functions, so you're not entirely blind, but you want to have a good sense of vision to see everything. If not, you should probably, as a DJ, if you can't see that well in the dark, you can always get one of those kind of portable lights to like probably shine over your controller, or you can request to have a light shine above you in an event or venue, and you can be well lit while everyone else has a pretty good dark environment with all your great lights. So there you have it. That's my entire set. Okay guys, so that concludes the tour of my entire DJ gear and setup that I can provide as a full package to a gig. So please let me know what stuff that you want me to bring, so if ever you do choose to have an event. So thank you guys again for watching and seeing what I have. Hope to see you guys again pretty soon, and I'll see you guys on the next one for my channel.